Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House, and we're on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny, and then we're also on Facebook at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. Okay, well, right when I finished doing the altered cards, I had some of the papers that I was drawing on, and I just thought, oh, I wonder what would happen if I just use these glue pages to make maybe some ephemera out of it and finish up using the rest of this coffee talc Mod Podge that I made. So I thought I would just turn the camera back on and get right to it and show you what I did. So here's a base that I did, and this is already dry. It feels great. It feels kind of like when you do the Mama Gambi, you know, how it has that feel to it. It feels like that. It doesn't smell as good. It smells like coffee, which sounds good, but it doesn't smell like Mama Gambi. So basically what I did was I just glued these two together. You could, depending on your page, you could glue it any which way you wanted to, you know. Just going around the edge here. And then you could also, just to make it nice and, you know, much better as far as sticking together, you could sew it later too, which I might do that. Okay, so then what I did, so I have a couple of those from, you know, before. So then what I did was let's get rid of this fang snake here. I just got back into this is where I keep all of my strips and little papers to stamp on. And I've got such a mess here. So this is another reason I wanted to do this before I clean up. And then all I did was, let's get that glued down here. All I did was just Mod Podge this on. And then I'll show you what we're going to do after that. So we're just going to glue this on, and I think we'll just do a light coat real quick. So see, I'm even making another page underneath. All right. And then just did like somewhat of a collage. I left some of the back of the dictionary just so you could see it, but I just took pieces that were in there and glued them down with this Mod Podge. Let's get rid of this guy. Okay. And yeah, just took some scraps, try to get some that are kind of broken up a little bit. You can do it any which way you want. You don't have to do the way I'm doing it. You can put on whatever you want, however you want. This is a fun piece. Let's put that maybe right here. And so kind of you get your little collageness out. Here's some of that emboss thing that I bought. This was, I just tossed it in here because I didn't use it on whatever I was doing this for. But we'll get it down. Yeah, so anyways, you kind of get your fix for collaging and gluing. Plus you're recycling, you know, you're using up some of your bits. They're probably, if you're like me, you have more bits than you know what to do with. I'm just doing everything neutral. I'm just using it out of neutral, but you could definitely you could use your, you know, your all of your scraps, the ones that you have from your digitals. You could use that. You could use just plain white Mod Podge. Wouldn't have to be coffee toned. I just wanted to antique a little bit, and I think I'll use a little bit more of this. you can make a belly band, but I'm gonna turn this into probably 2 different cards. So that's kind of my plan with that. It does dry pretty fast, fairly fast, I would say, because the book page isn't super thick. Even though it's doubled, it's not super thick, and it's not even running through the back. But I'll probably, just for the sake of this video, take my hair dryer to it to dry it. And then that way we can go on to step 2. What do we have here? It's fun. Envelope. I like that. Let's put one more, another little piece down here. Yep. Okay, maybe just something up here, and then we'll go on to what I might do is pause and do the other ones, and then we'll go on to the next step. Trying to see if I have any other paper. I'm surprised I don't have any off of music. Oh, here's fun. That's the one. I always look at this and I'm like, oh yeah, that's when we used the we painted with or coffee dyed it with metal. We did that metal. Okay, so there's that one. All right, so I'm going to just set that aside for a second. I'm going to put it on pause for just 1 second, and I'm going to do a couple more. I just don't want you to have to sit through the whole thing while I just Mod Podge, so just one moment. Okay, so I'm back. So I went ahead and I just kind of did the same thing, and I just used the Mod Podge coffee talc formula, and this is still a little damp. I just Mod Podge, or just went ahead and finished these up, and then I went in and I took the hair dryer to them for about a minute. I just laid them out and I just went over it. It dries very, very fast on regular paper. I know we had a little bit of dry time situation when we did the cards, but the altered playing cards, but they dry very quick. This is kind of what I was telling you earlier on another video, that when this is oh gosh, parchment paper, and so it kind of beads up a little bit because of the resistance that parchment paper has for baking. So when you put this on, see how it still dries. I mean, it dries up. It's not sticky, but wherever it globbed, it just stays that way. So it adds a little bit more texture. It's pretty cool. So I do have a video on making this, but it's approximately, everything's approximate. Gosh, I hope I get this right. 1/4 cup-ish of Mod Podge. I use matte. 1/4 cup, or a 1/4 cup of Mod Podge matte. I think 2 teaspoons, or oh gosh, I don't know. Make it to the color you want. I think I used 2 tablespoons diluted in water, enough to dilute it and dissolve it, and then add it to your Mod Podge. And then I put about a tablespoon, I want to say, of talc. Ooh, I'm going to have to find the formula, but maybe you can go back and look. Now, this one, I just ad-libbed. I just dumped until it came out the color I wanted and the consistency I wanted. So I'm trying to get rid of it today because it's starting to glob on the bottom, and that's not good news. I just learned from the last time I did it that it then becomes one big glob, and I'd like to save that little jar. So, okay, so now what I want to do is I'm going to take off this side, but I think I'm going to cut, let's see, how tall are these? I'm going to cut them in half because I'm going to make cards out of them. Maybe I won't cut them all in half. 10 inches. So I could easily do 5, but it would also make, you know, a nice something like that, fold it over. But let's go 5 inches here. And the only reason I'm not cutting that strip off first, oh, it is not wanting to cut through that very well. The only reason I'm not cutting that strip off first is because I don't want to get out my big cutter and run that through the blade. So maybe we just do it like this. Yeah, that did not, it must still be a little bit damp under there. It did not like it. The cutter didn't like that. The blade didn't. Of course, you know, these I'll put back in here. We'll use those for another time, maybe on the same type of project. Wonder if that one is dry enough. Let's see. I mean, they feel dry, but you know how it is with glue and stuff. Sometimes underneath isn't quite dry. That one's better. Okay, that's too little for me anyways. Okay. And all these measurements are going to change. Oops. Oh gosh. Dropped on the floor. All these measurements are going to change based off of, you know, how big your sheet is or whatever. And you know, depending on what you'd like to make with them. Yeah, that one's also a little wet under there. Yikes. I thought I dried them, but I must have just gotten them warm enough to make where they feel dry. Kind of like taking your clothes out of the dryer. They feel dry because they're warm. And then you get them to the closet and you're like, ew, that's wet. Let's just take this off real quick. Okay. Okay, and that one did okay too. All right. I've got a mess. You can see I've got a mess. Definitely have to clean this up today. Okay, so what I did was I have this digital, I don't know what that name is. Broucek.cz. I honestly can't remember if this is something I got on Etsy at a store called this, or if I went to a website to get it, but it's a bunch of black and white. Oh, I got them backwards. Black and white. Oh, I got them all which way? Images. And I printed it out so long ago. I don't remember. But I thought they would be really neat on here. And so I have fussy tore some images. And I thought we would go ahead and put them on the same way. All right, so all I'm going to do, and then I've already gone around it with some vintage photo. I just wanted to do that. And I am going to end up covering up some, you know, some of the images or some of the paper that we just put down, but that's okay. That's okay. It's just paper, and It's the overall that we're looking for, and so part of it is the fun and part of it is the outcome, isn't it? So I'm just going to go over this one more time, add a little dimension to it, and I think that looks really pretty. And then I'll dry these again before we go. I think that looks really pretty. I'll put that up here. Let me see, maybe I can, let's put it on this. Okay. Get my situation situated. All right, here we go. I would like to go the way that the, if possible, if I remember, I'd like to go the way that the writing is. Is there any way we can put that in there? Maybe echo it a little bit like that. It'd also be nice to put a, go ahead and put a label or something on this. So let's see. We'll leave these two as is, but let me grab a label. I'm running low on, I did cut some more out, but I'm using them so fast. These are Tracy Fox labels. You probably know that already. Just going to go around the edge. This Mod Podge will pick up the edge. It's just that I'd like it to have a little bit extra. All right, what are we going to put on here? How about that there? This has a sticker, I believe. On some of them I did stickers, on some I didn't. But you can usually tell it feels a little bit thicker. Okay. So anyways, this is just a fun way to use your scraps, Use all your scraps. Get down. There you go. Okay. That's neat. Okay. Let's see. This one may be too big. I'm afraid it's going to take up too much of what we've done. That's cute. Yeah, that's cute. It's very sweet. Very sweet. Let's get a label for it. I've got this Mod Podge business everywhere. But nothing, that Lysol stuff that I use, it'll clean it right up. Thankfully. Oh yeah, this is a sticker. I was like, is that a sticker? Oh gosh. Okay. Good. This paintbrush is a master stroke wash brush, I guess it's called. And I probably either got it at a flea market or thrift store, or I bought it at Walmart or Hobby Lobby. So it's a soft bristle, and I like the way it slops stuff on here. So Okay. Oh, here's another little bird. Maybe right there. I'd like to have that little hole punch there. I think that's kind of neat. Okay. And then you would just do with what, you know, with this, what you would normally do. You could put a backing on it, make it stiffer so you could write on. You could use it as a top pocket or, oh, I forgot a tag on that one. A tuck. Okay, what do we have? That's pretty. I like that. And let's get a label. A label. Labels I have are kind of big. Let's see if I can. I'm looking for a label. Kind of like to stay in the browns and the or the blacks. Here's a skinny one. Maybe that'll work. Or maybe we just put halvesy. A halvesy one. Okay. Oh. Oh my goodness. I had it and lost it. Come on. Oh gosh. What's the problem here? Here. Don't lose it. Oh boy. There we go. Huh. That seemed so much harder than I thought it should be. Okay. Let's get up there a little bit. Okay, there's another one. Do I have any more papers? Any more? How about we do this? How about we do these two together? And we split the rose or the peony. And we get a couple of labels. Just trim this down a little bit. I actually thought I had enough of those printed. Put one there. I thought I had enough fussy cut, I meant, of these little things, but this is going to work out just fine. I don't mind it. Okay. And then one right here. How about one that looks like this? Ah, concentration. Okay. All right. Okay. Now that's going to go like that. I'm going to go right, I'm going to tear it. I'm going to tear right down here, and I think I'm coming out right in between those two leaves. Yeah, I did it. Okay. One and two. Okay. Get these on, and then we'll dry them and come back and look at them. This might need a little bit more under here. I don't know if I got that far with my slopping. Maybe right in here. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to leave that. I haven't done this side, but I'm going to leave it for a second, and then we'll come back over and see if it gives a little bit of a spotty look. Put a little bit here. Let's just drape that a little bit. See if it does the same thing. I think it will. I think it's going to give it a layered look of gooness. Let's see. I like that paper, so I'm going to move this down just a smidgy, just so you can see a little bit of it. Okay. Yeah. All right, now let's go back over this one real quick. I like it a lot. I thought about getting like my colored pencils out and putting just a little bit of tone on these black and white digitals. And then I thought, no, I think I want to keep them just neutral, but you could certainly do that. I just don't know what journal they're going to go in to add the color to, so I decided not to. So, okay, so hold tight for just a second. I'm going to run and dry these, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That didn't take long. Okay, so they're pretty well dry, and they have this really great feel to them. They're really nice and thick feeling with all that glue on there. But they're very pliable as well. So I really like the way they are. They kind of just feel a little bit like leather. Like a really soft leather. So again, you could use these, you know, you could make journal cards out of them. You could make a tag. You could put it in a journal and make a tuck or a pocket. See, that's got a little bit of crossover here. I think they all turned out great. And again, you can sew them or run your art glitter glue around it, you know, for that part that maybe didn't get. But I thought what I would do is take one. It's hard to choose. I love the ones that had puddling on it because it just dried that way. I think I'm going to take this one and just glue it right here on that glassine. I'm just going to go around the edge. And I'm going to take my art glitter glue to put it down, because it is kind of thick now. And I'm going to also see if there's anything on the edges that needs a little help to stick down. But you can put these in your little ephemera bucket, whatever you use, and it'll be ready to go when you need something. And if you, if you don't add the focal point in the label like we did today, you could always later just add, a focal point, whatever you're working on in your journal. So let's say you're doing something pink or lavender or whatever. Even if you're doing, like, let's say you're doing a men's journal, this would be a really great look. And then go ahead and do your Mod Podge, but then later you could come back and put whatever your focal point is, and then you wouldn't have to Mod Podge over it if you didn't want to. So let's see if there's any little, here's a little bubble right here that could use a little glue. Rest of it looks pretty good. Right here might need a little bit. Okay. I think I'm going to make this an extra pocket. It's sturdy enough. I think, just based on the way it was acting, probably would wait several hours, or maybe, if you do this in the evening overnight, to maybe use a punch on it. So like if you wanted to do a divot, maybe wait a little while. I had to make sure I didn't have it upside down. Okay, I'll get over here and get the page out of my pile. Well, how fun is that? If you had a page that was just white, you needed something on the back, just a full page, this would be fun. So you have a little pocket here and a pocket there. It's neat. Cool. Well, gosh, thanks everybody for hanging out and indulging me while I use up my stuff. And so that was really fun for me. The collaging, the painting, the whole thing was really fun. And now I have all these to play with, and I love them. That needs a little bit right there. So I hope you have a great rest of the day, and you get a chance to craft and get dirty, and let me know how it goes if you decide to do this. And I'm going to look for the formula for this, so I'll put it in the description box. I think I wrote it down and put it in my office. If not, I'll go back and try to find that video and see what I put on there, because I tried to give it a pretty specific formula, even though this one is not. Okay, well, have a great rest of the day, and thank you so much for hanging out and for subscribing and telling your buddies about us. We just want you to know that we pray blessings over you and that you're so loved. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.